Hello and welcome to Across the Niger Delta, the weekend edition of Niger Delta Today. The program is designed to take you on a journey through the unique culture, lifestyle and people of the Niger Delta region with a touch of entertainment and talent exhibition. Bear in mind that the program also aims to address the socio-economic and environmental challenges faced by communities in the area, while also promoting inclusivity and resilience, as well as showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the region. On the program, the opinions of locals and experts do count as we interface with them on the opportunities and challenges facing the region today. I am Avero Swagene Ebo. Thank you for joining us. On today's edition, Akwa Ibom Assembly moves to amend 2022 Independent Electoral Act. Delta State Government shuts down health facilities during regulatory sweep. Edo communities petition House of Representatives over vandalism-sparked power outages. On the entertainment scene, Cross River actor MC Mbakara alleges Nollywood actor Junior Pope's death promotional strategy. And still on entertainment, Afrobeat giant Burna Boy features on Essence list for sexiest men of the moment. And on the big story, we will look at sports development in the Niger Delta region. Thank you for staying tuned to the program Across the Niger Delta. We'll begin by taking you through some of our major stories for the week. First of all, we go with the Cross River State has recorded significant development strides in recent times under Governor Basi Edet Otu. An exclusive interview with the Commissioner for Information in the state, Honorable Erasmus Ekbang, gives us more.
Under the leadership of His Excellency, Senator Basi Otu. If you just give us an overview before we get into it.
It's been quite very interesting. It's actually for us a season of sweetness for Cross Riverians. We're actually perceiving and seeing Cross River State returning back to its glory under the leadership and mentorship of Senator Prince Basi Edet Otu, the people's governor. You know, for us, when he came on board, he was more interested in tackling the people. That is why his mantra is the people's first agenda. He never actually came up with some very new projects, but he felt Cross River State was big enough. Other past administrations have done their best, to see how to improve Cross River State. He has just come to consolidate on the previous gains, in other words, returning Cross River State back to its glory. Now we started with, his initial appointment, personal staffs. Then later on, the House of Assembly came on board, and then to some extent, ESCO were inaugurated, where I was actually lucky and had all the grace and was privileged, and with the trust he had in me to actually appoint me Commissioner for Information, Cross River State, the image maker and mouthpiece of the state, where I am very, very grateful and highly honored, and I ever pay my undoubted loyalty to him, Senator Prince Basi Edet Otu. I will never fail him.
And you're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a good job. I have no choice. I left as the state publicity secretary of the party. We actually were all PDP. But somewhere along the line, where there were like hitches along the line, the then governor, in his wisdom, Senator Ben Ayade, moved us to the APC. It wasn't very easy for us, coming to a terrain where we need to understudy the articles, the law, and what it takes to, run the APC. Where I was a spokesman of the APC. So it means I had to go through all the nooks and crannies, all the areas, the grasses, the trees, the people. For us then, it was umbrella throughout since 1999. So it was heavy work for me. It was serious work.
Not like baptism by fire.
No. It was really work, and I just actually involved the method of how they call it, appeals and relationship and friendship. Instead of, when I saw the state public secretary work, I am an environmentalist, almost defending my PhD thesis. But for English, I never read. Literature, I never read. And then finding myself to be voted in because the slot was given to my local government for state public secretary, and I opted out initially. I didn't know that was the one they would give us. But when I saw state public secretary, I said, wow, I had to brace up, employ bloggers, employ writers, employ a lot of people. So eventually, I did well. I tried to introduce friendship. I tried to build bridges. I tried to go back, visit those old APCs that were angry to bring them back to our folds, where eventually we won. Now, coming back to your question, Senator Prince Bassey on ground had done wonderful, fantastic things for Cross River State. We started from the north. The then governor, the then administration had started with the airstrip, the cargo airport, building it, which to some extent was, say, 60-70% completion before the end of his administration. Senator Prince Bassey, in his wisdom, felt it's not for him to abandon people's taxes, people's money. So he's going to consolidate on the ones he can actually see how well he can complete them for the benefit of Cross River State, to actually boost our economy, develop, our areas and all that. So when for the cargo airstrip, whereas I speak with you now, we're about 90% complete. That's in the north of Budo. And then at the same vein, he visited the German hospital built by the then administration in the north, and then came down to the central. We had a health center in somewhere in Ikom, where eventually it was upgraded to a general hospital, and I know what that means. And then we had a school of agriculture and forestry in Obubra, established in Obubra, commissioned and all that. It's going to help us a lot, because if you look at it, we have we 50% cover of forest in Africa is seen, the mangrove is seen here in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, we in the Cross River State have close to about another 48-50% forest cover in Nigeria. So you have a lot of forest things coming out from Cross River State, the timber, the logs and all that. So we felt it was necessary to establish a school, in Obubra, where is the central, where you have more of those timbers and things coming out. And then we commissioned a school of nursing in a local government called Abi. That's central and all that. But coming back to a big story, Calabar is a different story. If you had visited Calabar last year by this time, and you go back there today, you actually comment Senator Prince Bassey too. Because we had issues. We had issues with the then administration had issues with the variations in diesel price. It came when you had given a contract to pack waste, and then eventually diesel had skyrocketed then to like 700 from a possible 200. So it was difficult for the contractors to actually meet up the frequency of carrying this waste. The waste seen all over. It was raining season, there was rain seen all over. To some extent, a lot of people were writing against the state for cholera, for an epidemic and all that. And then we had potholes almost everywhere. The roads were bad here. We're actually waiting for that dry season to come for us to do those roads. But then election came in place. A lot of tussle up and down. Everybody was a bit distracted. Potholes were everywhere. Major roads in Calabar were filled with potholes. And then we never in our lives, since after the NSAS, we're badly hit by the NSAS. Our CICC, the International Conference Center, where we hosted Miss Africa and all that, where we host major events, was totally vandalized. And then, in short, for Cross River State, functions were not holding there. You understand? So all this, I'm telling you, with the incoming administration of Senator Prince Bassey, we're actually looking for ways to carry right now. The town is very, very neat. The NSAS vandalized all our traffic lights. Calabar was without traffic lights for like 3-4 years. No traffic lights. As I speak with you now, almost at every other junction, traffic lights have been restored. no waste bin, all the internal potholes have been filled. You understand? We have
under the space of a year.
Just like magic, in a state where you know how it is. We in Cross River State are very friendly people. We in Cross River State respect seniority till today. My governor, Senator Prince Basede, to my boss, still call his former governor, Senator Benayere, my boss. We don't have issues. We are not at war with each other. We just believe that from where we decided to take over Cross River State, we're going to take it up from there. Whatever it is, we'll manage the issues and all that. That is why a lot of things initially looked like, oh, appointments were slow and all that. Because His Excellency was actually beating his brain, we're never sleeping, down to make sure that the state first is put in a good shape. You cannot actually give somebody an appointment to come and stay where maybe there's no office or the environment is dirty and is not well kept. And beside that, we had a long-and-dragging court issue till December. That was so much distraction for us. So we could not sit down and start making appointments, building people's hopes, and we don't know what the judiciary, being blind as it is, what the outcome will be. You understand? So we actually took off the state. As I speak with you, there's traffic light everywhere. There are street lights everywhere. There are major roads that have been constructed, completed, commissioned. We took a facelift of the government house. You know, since the then administration of Donald Duke, if you remember, the government buildings were actually not renovated or painted anymore. So Senator Prince Basede administration came on, started working on all the offices, even to my office, Minister of Information. And then we never saw NEPA light for like 5 years. But as I speak with you today, NEPA has been installed. And you understand when there's no NEPA in a place for like 5 years, it means the armored cable, a lot of things had gone out. And that is what the administration of Senator Prince Basede to do, is actually putting on our toes. Everybody's on their toes, working seriously. The library, you understand, like in other states you have the e-library and all that. We're changing ours to that. We're totally overhauling the whole state. But for now, so good, so well. The state has actually, gradually, come back to its fold. At some point, we were having issues with the aircraft and airlines. And then as I speak with you, our airlines were now automatically.
On our next major story, the act of illegal refining, popularly known as coal fire in the Niger Delta, involves a lot of risk and labor-intensive methods to process crude oil into finished products. ADBN correspondent Achinono Temple, who visited one of such sites, explains that the process involves the use of fabricated equipment in extracting products like fuel, kerosene, and diesel. His reports.
Location in the Niger Delta, as I had never been to an illegal refining complex.
We are here to just get information about what you people are doing here. We didn't come here to harm you people. We are just here to get information on what you people are doing here.
And what do you think that you are doing here?
Just on trying to see how people are operating on this fire business. We didn't come here to harm you people or to beg government to come and fund the place or not. No, we are just here for peace.
The operator's peculiar attitude makes it rare for outsiders to enter the camp. They are wary of security agencies and contractors that monitor pipelines out there looking for oil thieves. They have to be extremely watchful. Here, in the deepest recesses of the Niger Delta forest, I was granted permission to enter the camp with a certain amount of trust. Fortunately, I got to know one of the operators who gave me information on the policies, procedures, and operations of the coal fire company, particularly with regards to extracting the crude oil byproducts.
This is the raw crude. It is packaged like this from the source. This raw crude, they will later pour it inside the oven, inside the tank. This tank here, this is where it will be loaded. Then this is a place where they will put fire. When the fire boils up to 100 degrees, then it will move through the stockfish. From the stockfish, it runs through the federal government. From the federal government, to the receiver.
The fact that the federal government opposes the unlawful practice of oil bunkering is another justification for why petroleum is cooked overnight. The camp's operator gave me a tour of the area, and his help gave us inside knowledge of the bonfire industry. The operators decided how much crude oil would be poured at a time to be refined. Initially, crude oil is dumped onto a small drum, and it is then moved into a large iron oven known as the boiler. This process relies on the size of the pot. Before starting the heating process, he ensures all leaks are sealed off.
We have 4 refineries in Nigeria. None is working. Up to now, federal government keep on importing refined crude from abroad. But right here in the bush, people are doing something like this. What can you say?
Okay, where we are now is the receiver. As you can see the diesel inside the receiver. That is what we are saying, that the common man have technical know-how and their knowledge. Nigerian has failed us. They are telling us they have been borrowing trillions, billions, federal accounts, bringing money from outside country as a loan in order to build a refinery or rehabilitate a refinery. On no avail. Right now, inside this bush, under the Niger Delta, you can use yourself and see the diesel inside the refinery. That is what we are saying, that we, as a youth of Niger Delta, we can do it more better than the refinery of Nigerians. Nigeria has 4 refineries. No one is working. All we are hearing is trillions, borrowing. The little one we are having is what we are bringing. Nigerians should help us. Nigerians should help the youth. Nigerians should help the graduates in order for us to improve more. This one we are doing is the little one. When we are empowered, we can do more than this. We can have a barrel of diesel every 2 days.
Water is routinely added to the cooler, which they colloquially refer to as oporoko, which is English for stockfish. Its purpose is to keep the boiler cool. From the boiler, LNT petrol, kerosene, and diesel, in that order, are the next product to gradually emerge. This is what is referred to as fire.
When we get the finished product, let's say for example, diesel 25 liter, we sell it at the rate of 10,000. In filling station, they are selling it 25 to 30,000. That means we are doing it in order to help the common citizenry, because many people cannot afford to buy diesel in filling station because of the high price. But what we are doing is helping everybody in the society. We are doing it to help Nigerians and to help ourselves. Moreover, the poor ones, because the poor masses are elaborate. We are doing it to help everybody.
Nigeria has not yet reached its target of producing 1.8 million barrels of oil per day. The illicit oil bunkers think that their actions will significantly aid in achieving the goal. As a result, they appeal to the government for assistance in carrying out their tasks competently. That will help to prevent pollution and environmental harm.
As I am doing this business, I am doing it for the benefit of all. The benefit of all means that it has created job opportunity and job employment for the teeming youth in Niger Delta. Basically, to myself, I have graduated since 1992, getting my master's 2001.
Away from illegal refining, the intersection of religion with various aspects of life, culture, and community in the Niger Delta region is very important in showcasing the lifestyle of its people. Across the Niger Delta also captured Muslims as they wrapped up the Ramadan fast that was done in line with the Muslim lunar calendar. The Muslims earlier had their prayers at the mosque in Uyo to herald the celebration, signaling the end of Ramadan. Our Niger Delta team interacted with Muslims during the celebration who spoke on unity across the region, irrespective of religious beliefs and tribe.
Muslims across the Niger Delta gathered in various worship places to give thanks to Allah to mark the end of the Ramadan fast.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
After the prayers, the Saraki Hausa in Akwa Ibom State, Hassan Saduki, reiterated the need for unity and love among citizens in Nigeria.
We use the period to seek for God's forgiveness and guidance, and also forgiveness among ourselves, and also to build that unity across not just only the Muslim Ummah but also other faithfuls.
We have come together as a body, as a people, to foster unity amongst ourselves and to promote peaceful coexistence with our host community vis-a-vis the government and people of Akwa Ibom State. The message I have is that the peace that we have thus enjoyed in the states, we should contribute and try to promote it at all costs, do our part to ensure that we live peacefully with our host community. We are here to do our businesses. We are traders, we are businessmen, we are investors. Businesses, trading activities, they all thrive best in an atmosphere of peace. And we cannot be seen to contribute to whatever will bring the peace that we have thus enjoyed.
It was a similar mood in neighboring Rivers and Bayelsa State, where women, children, and men assembled at prayer grounds to praise Allah for bringing them this far.
Fasting in itself, as Allah said in one of the hadiths, the statement in his sayings, that is a shield, it's a cover, a protection, that he uses it to cover his servants on the day of Qiyamah, that day of accountability.
We are still begging that as God has made it possible for us to complete the 1 month lasting fasting, and the issue of kidnapping and killing was reduced, minimized in Nigeria. We want them to take this Eid al-Fitr to go up, forget about anything that will bring a problem to Nigeria.
My message to Rivers people is that please, let us give peace chance. Anything about us is peace. You should not partake in destabilization of the state. Make sure we are all in peace. That is the only thing that can let every one of us grow and prosper.
Eid al-Fitr, the holiday marking the end of Ramadan fast, is determined by the sighting of the crescent moon in accordance with the Muslim lunar calendar. Du Bois Bayeri.
Also, food insufficiency has been a major challenge in recent times for many homes in the Niger Delta. To alleviate the plight of Akwa Ibomites, the President of the Senate, Senator Gosulobota Akpabio, commenced the distribution of rice to ward chairmen across the 31 local government areas of the state. The Senate President, who flagged off the distribution at his home in Ukana, where he hosted 108 ward chairmen, noted that the vision of his government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one that is truly concerned about the masses. Here's the report.
Our lush landscapes and vibrant cultures, a beacon of hope emerges amidst challenging times. Today, Senator Godswill Akpabio, a statesman whose dedication to his people knows no bounds, is at it again as he has gathered all APC ward chairmen across the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State. This is coming a few days after the Senate President embarked on supervision of internal road networks he attracted to the Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District in his bid to develop the region and uplift his constituents. Today marks a significant milestone as Senator Akpabio launches a monumental rice distribution initiative spanning across all 108 wards of Akwa Ibom State. From the bustling streets of Esenudim and her environs, citizens trooped into his residence in Okana, hoping to be beneficiaries of this gesture. Women and children alike could not contain their joy as they happily danced in circles in gratitude to the Senate President and his wife for their magnanimous gesture. Upon his arrival, the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, was heralded by several loud chants, dancing and jubilation for the man who has stood as a beacon of hope and prosperity in their region was finally amongst them. Giving his welcoming speech, the chairman of the APC ward chairman in Akwa Ibom State, Honorable Ntie Usoro, welcomed the Senate President in praises, thanking him for yet another magnanimous gesture.
The distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this is a known terrain for you. Today, you have asked us, the ward executive of our great party, the ward chairman, the ward 08, ward chairman in Government Central District, and the chapter chairman, plus the chapter officers of great party, to assemble, and we have not seen this kind of thing before. This is the first time in the history of the Government Central District where we come here to receive 40 bags of rice to all the work, 108, and the chapter of our great party. I salute you.
The Senate President, while delivering his speech, spoke about plans and actions that are being carried and will be carried out by his government to better the lives of his constituents and the state at large.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decided to assist all lawmakers at the federal level to touch the people at home. People are complaining there is no food, and therefore there is need to provide food. I want to assure you that I will assist you to make sure you are not hungry. Today is distribution for wards. So the 10,600 and something bags are going to wards. Tomorrow will be distribution for chapters. And next tomorrow will now be for stakeholders. I hope you are hearing me. You remember, so some of you will have to eat 3 times. You eat as what? For the 108 ones. You now jump in with Teru and eat as a chapter. After that, you jump in with Dr. Kizakman and Dr. Osoro and eat as stakeholders. I don't know where I belong. I'll give you assistance to ensure food production. And of course, road is going to be in all the 10 local governments in the state. So I'll be commissioning them. And I don't know where they started Ikwere. They say Ikwere or something road in Yini and others. So all those things are being done. Then the president has started the dualization of back to Ikwere. So very soon you'll see a dualized road. Be rest assured that your life will never be the same again. So as the many things I'm going to do in the senatorial district, you'll be seeing them. Because I am for the whole of southern Nigeria as the Senate President, I may not come and be announcing things here. Because I also work for your senatorial district. I may not come and be telling you this, telling you that. But you will notice the difference. The stone which the builders connived to reject in 2019 has become the cornerstone.
As the rice distribution unfolds, a sense of anticipation fills the air. For families facing economic hardship, these bags of rice represent more than just sustenance. They symbolize hope and resilience in the face of adversity. In the tapestry of Akwa Ibom's rich heritage, Senator Godswill Akpabio's rice distribution initiative.
I may not come and be telling you this, telling you that, but you will notice the difference.
As the journey continues, one thing remains certain, and that is that together we can build a brighter tomorrow for every one of us. Simple Iwat, reporting for Niger Delta Today.
Putting food on the table sure has a way of putting smiles on the faces of people. Also, in a show of generosity and to also ameliorate the plight of the public, the founder of Omega Power Ministry, Apostle Chibuzo Chinyere, and his humanitarian efforts in the Niger Delta caught the attention of across the Niger Delta. Let's have a look.
Of Christ, we are very happy that you could invite us to your home today, sir. A very beautiful place you have too.
Thank you.
Sir. So please, besides what we already know about you, is there more we should know about before we will continue and go further?
Basically, my passion for Christ, going beyond the pulpit to reach people, to reach sinners. Because I have a different perspective about ministry. Church is not when people gather on Sunday, you preach, they praise God, collect offering and tithe, and go home. Church is about reaching out to the people, going outside the ministry, going extra mile, like the way what our Lord Jesus Christ did. He was always reaching out. He didn't just sit down in the synagogue every Sabbath day to preach. No. But he went out to the people. He reached out. That is the gospel. The gospel is reaching out to the lost souls. That's why I go out of my way. I go to the creeks where these boys are staying. Good news to them. Convince them to surrender their guns. They surrender their guns, hand the guns over to the police. Then I commence their rehabilitation. I have a rehabilitation center, one of the biggest rehabilitation centers in Niger Delta here. Where I keep them, there I rehabilitate them. I teach them skills, different kinds of skills, carpentry, pipeline welding, generator repair, different skills they learn, and now become independent. It's not just preaching, but just going. That's what motivated me to. And it's 100% free.
That is the part that really gets me. Are you funded in any way or in collaboration with the federal government, for example?
No funding for federal government, no funding for state. It's from offering and tithes.
This is fantastic.
And if you know how much you pay, because operation is not just done by doctors, it's consultants that do it. We pay them. And we have been running this for more than 10 years.
Now I understand besides the free schools and the rest.
I've not finished.
Okay.
After the operation, okay. In the hospital, we'll feed you free. Yes. After you deliver, when you want to go, we'll give you transport to go home.
No, that one really do hit me.
We'll give you transport to go home.
Okay, now let's look at the free school for autism and Down syndrome. True, I did my research and discovered that even I could not find any that is free. And those schools are terribly expensive, schools for autism and Down syndrome. And you are into that. What also brought you into that area as well?
Yes, I visited somebody some time ago and I found out that
And those are some of the major stories we had during the week. We go on a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you more on across the Niger Delta. Do stay tuned.
World of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues. It is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices that touches the core of our existence.
ADBN Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Tune in to Niger Beats on ADBN every weekday on DSTV channel 258 and Star Times channel 140. Let's vibe together to the hottest tunes straight out of Niger. Don't miss a beat. Join the reading, join the fun.
Welcome back to the program Across the Niger Delta, and now to more around the region. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has deliberated on an executive bill seeking to amend the Independent Electoral Act of 2022. The House, which sat for the first time after the Eid al-Fitr holidays, advocated for a 3-year tenure for duly elected local government officials. The proceedings kicked off with a reading of the message from the governor of the state, Pastor Moino, advocating for the revision to the electoral laws by the clerk of the House, Mrs. Nsikak Abasi Orok.
The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udodoma Avenue, Uyo. Mr. Speaker, read a bill for a law to amend the Independent Electoral Commission Law, Cap 69, Laws of Akwa Ibom State 2022, and for other matters connected thereto.
Subsequently, Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Udeme Utang, expedited the bill's progress, moving swiftly from its first to second reading with the sponsor of the bill, Deputy Leader Honorable Otobong Bob, representing amendments to its provisions.
The Commission shall not later than 180 days, but not less than 90 days before the day appointed for holding an election under this law, publish a notice in the state stating the date of the election and communicate same to all political parties, appoint a place where nomination papers are to be delivered, that the Commission shall have the power to conduct local government elections every 3 years, provided that the Commission is not prevented from conducting elections by reasons of war, unrest, persistent or recurrent violence.
Several members who voiced in support of the bill emphasized its potential to enhance political party participation in local government elections and ensure elected officials are accountable to their constituents.
It is therefore pertinent for us to have a stable, tenured, elected officers at the level of the local government so that they will be accountable to the people of that local government.
In doing these elections, we will give all political parties the chance, but let them also run and contest for the elections.
Following thorough deliberations, the Speaker declared the bill read for the second time and referred to the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs.
It has been moved and duly seconded that a bill for a law to amend the Independent Electoral Commission Law, Cap 69, Laws of Akwa Ibom State 2022, and for other matters connected there will be read the second time. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The bill is accordingly read the second time and committed to the House Committee on Local Governments and Chieftaincy Affairs to report back to this House in less than 4 days.
The amendment also outlined a provision for local government elections to be held annually on December 7th. The Delta State government has shut down 18 health establishments as part of efforts to regulate private health facilities in the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onajeme, made this known during a routine inspection of health facilities across the state. He emphasized that operating such facilities without proper registration, as mandated by the Private Health Facilities Law of May 2019, is illegal. The sealed facilities were found to be non-compliant with registration and operational standards outlined in the law. Dr. Onajeme added that the ongoing enforcement will further visits. Plans is to ensure compliance with annual renewal fees, amongst others. Having already covered Ugeli and Wari, with upcoming visits to Saple, Ogara, Agbo, Asaba, and other areas of the state, the Commissioner highlighted various violations to include non-registration, failure to pay annual fees, and employing unqualified personnel. He therefore urged private health facilities to adhere to regulations and encouraged residents to report suspicious activities. The monitored facilities ranged from hospitals to traditional birthplaces, stressing that penalties for violations may include imprisonment or fines of up to 5 million naira. And when we return, we'll bring you the big story for today. Don't go away. You're welcome back to the program, and on our big story today, we will look at sports development in the Niger Delta region. When it comes to sports, a lot of people think football, with the likes of Lionel Messi, Victor Osimhen, brushing aside everything that has to do with sports, not knowing that there are other sports activities that could actually make your leisure worthwhile. In an exclusive interview with a sports analyst, the game of cricket was our focus. Do enjoy it.
Now, Western time, we're going to delve into the world of sport. This time around, we're talking cricket. With me in the studio is a sport journalist and grassroots cricket developer, Akanimo Kufre. Akanimo Kufre, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much, Sifon. It's good to be here with you.
Thank you for coming around.
All right.
Now, a lot has been said about football, the game of football. But now cricket, not many know about the game of cricket. What is cricket all about?
Cricket is a fast-growing sport that has been around when football was here in Nigeria. And so cricket is fast-growing now in the country, and thanks to the administration of the federation that has been helping to make sure that the sports can grow at the pace that is expected at the international level. So it's a team sport, it's elitist to say. It's a sport that can give opportunity to our young chaps also to excel, where we cannot do much in football. So we can also rely on cricket as a sport where we have the likes of South Africa, Australia, England, and Zimbabwe all enjoying this beautiful sport. So it's an interesting sport that you need to be there to see how it's being played.
Beautiful. Okay, earlier you mentioned that it started in Calabar here, just a backyard here.
Definitely. That story has been proven over time, and I did a research on myself, I think about the year 1903. Football started in 1902 in Nigeria, the same place, Hope Water Training Institute. Okay. That's where cricket also started, introduced by, I think, a British father, a priest, so to say. So the game has been a game that has evolved over time, but recently Nigeria is making waves with it, and Akwa Ibom State also is making wave in the game with a lot of laurels being attracted to the country and to the state, thanks to some of our young people that are giving in their best in that sport. Recently, the 13th African Games, we have a Nigeria female team. To the surprise of many, they won bronze medal, whereas they were the least expected in the team out of the 8 teams that participated. The first time cricket was being introduced in the Continental Games. So Nigeria won bronze, and in this mix was 5 Akwa Ibomites, 4 actually discovered from here, and so that's a beautiful thing to discuss. cricket now in Akwa Ibom and in the South.
Okay, what are the challenges of, this game? What challenges are encountered?
Okay,
of developing the game.
Cricket is it's team sport, like I said. It's like 11-11 on each side, like football. But unlike football, we have a whole lot to spend in terms of equipment, right from the apparatus that the batter will wear to the wicket keeper. And ordinarily, the players that the core fielders they don't have much than just to wear their jersey and cap. The cap is to protect them from sun. Then also they have sun shades where a lot of them wear to prevent the ultraviolet lights into the eyes. And then the batter, which everybody takes part. Out of the 11 team, everybody must be a batter. We have a few people that are specialists. You call them bowlers, those who deliver the balls to the opponent to play. So then kitting them is where cricket has a huge challenge. That's the first challenge of buying the bat. An average bat now is about 180. But when we started the game, when the game was introduced to Akwa Ibom, 180,000 naira. Okay. Then compared to when the game was introduced into Akwa Ibom about 2010, we had an average bat then 30,000 naira. So now we have it quite expensive because it's made of a special wood called willow. English willow, we have a Pakistani willow. So this is the wood that has been designed for the bat. And the balls are made in Pakistan and other places. So for you to kit a team is quite expensive, unlike football. You have the special boot that has a stud that looks like that of a golf shoes. That is expensive. You have the pad. Some footballers call it a big shin guard. That's to protect the shin against the ball damaging the legs. And then we have a thigh pad, chest pad. Chest pad is necessary, but we overlook it at times. But in Ghana, I think I saw an incident that happened to one of our, in fact, it cost one of our games. Wade Downlady, a bright star for Nigeria in the men's team, was hit by the ball, so he had to be rushed to the hospital. But he recovered the following day. So cricket is expensive team sport.
Okay, kitting them is expensive.
Yeah.
So what do you think can be done to promote this sport of cricket?
It's just investing because this is a huge opportunity also. If you look at the English League, if you look at the Indian Premier League, which is about the biggest league in the world currently, you have a whole lot of people making money there. Some people were shocked when they see what Virat Kohli, a top player in India, earns compared to what most of the top players in football earn. So cricket is a big money spinner, and the United Arab Emirates is also taking it as a very fast developing sport as well. They, in fact, introduced a version that is fast rising, that is T10. So to make a lot of our young people enjoy cricket, like what is happening is seen in Edo State, Rivers State, and Lagos, we need to invest into these sports. And Akwa Ibom has a good youth population. So it's for those individuals, especially those who came in from the schools like HPC Calabar, Hope Water Calabar, Boys High School, Oron, Regina Acholi, Lens. These are the schools that played this beautiful game back in the 70s and probably 60s. So for them to be identified and they support the game that is going on here. Facility has been a major challenge, but a certain individual who has seen the effort of our girls, the 4 of them that have been playing the national team, drew the attention of ICC, that's the body that governs cricket in the world, International Cricket Council. They came to Akwa Ibom last September, August, I think. August, September. They visited here. In that visit, the man, Uyi Apata, who is the president of the federation, had reason to call his friend. Pet Foundation donated cricket nets here in Akwa Ibom. So it was a good thing that the white manager that came commissioned that. And so the other challenge that we always have in cricket has been solved. That's the net for practice. Because unlike football, cricket is not practiced in the playing field. You have success of it in the net That's one uniqueness of cricket. Okay. And then the pitch that you play, it's always bigger than the normal football field. So that is also going to be developed at the same venue, thanks to Akwa Ibom State Ministry of Education that donated that land in communities, Komsekom along Kalabaitu Road. That's where the pitch will be built. So even as of now, we are still looking for people to partner to develop that place so that we will have more people playing cricket.
Okay, so apart from investing money and then the facilities needed for this game, what about attracting the youths? What do you think can be done to draw the attention of youths to know about the sports?
Okay, thank you. We have a program that are planned out every year, some quarterly. Like the last one that made us go to a lot of schools to introduce or reintroduce cricket. How you could see the wide acceptance in that program. They call it Niger Kids. The other one we have it for South. So during that period, we have over about 50,000 in attendance in the South. So Akwa Ibom was targeted with about 5,000, and we exceeded that. So we have schools like the Federal Government College, a lot of public schools taking interest. Some private schools also took interest in that as far as Ikorekbene, and not just Uyo. So these are, don't forget the advantage of cricket to kids. The eye and hand coordination is very, very unique when it comes to cricket, because your ability to pitch the ball or somebody pitch the ball to you and then you hit it to the direction you want is one of the beautiful things. So if you are introduced into cricket, you see that it might be difficult that first instance for you to hit the ball if I pitch the ball to you, and that's if I bowl. That's the proper word for cricket. If I bowl the ball, throwing the ball for you to catch is also fun for kids, because there's a difference between throwing the ball and pitch and bowling. Bowling is the specialist that come in to deliver legitimate ball, and that is to the wicket, while throwing is for fielding, that you can also do it anywhere. So this makes interesting for kids.
Okay, so where do you see a cricket game in the nearest future?
Like the President Uye Pata says that he wants cricket, he wants Nigeria to be amongst the top 3 nations in Africa. Currently we have South Africa being top and Zimbabwe following. But you can see that he was close to that call in the last Africa Games. Nigerian female took a very big leap in the ranking. And I think the male too are doing well because of what they had before. So we are going to have cricket in Nigeria being one of the topmost sports. Already it is the fastest developing sport in Nigeria.
Thank you very much for coming to the studio, Mr. Akanimo. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Sifon. I'm glad to be here with you.
And with the focus in Niger Delta turning to cricket game, we'll call it a wrap on today's edition of the program. I am hopeful you had a wonderful time watching. To join us again for another fresh episode, I am Abero Swogene Ebo. Enjoy the rest of the day's broadcasts.